Most people don't like the truth, and I'm committed to punching you in the face with truth rather than coddling you with a lie. And that does create enemies. I'll stand in front of any room of women and say, hey, if you think the most powerful version of you is a CEO and making a ton of money and going after materialistic things, you're wrong.
Oh, hello there. I'm Jess, a Salt Lake City based designer. The other month, I posted a video about a man I'd never met. And it was about AlphaCon, a conference that happens in Utah every year, and about how the guy who ran it is now in federal prison. And someone interesting saw my video. He commented and told me I had it all wrong. This commenter offered to sit down with me and clear the air. His name is Keaton Hoskins. So I said, yeah, let's chat.
This is interesting because I can't imagine another opportunity where we would be in the same room.
I have no malice. I want truthful conversations, which causes me to be a villain in a lot of people's lives. Most people don't like the truth, and I'm committed to punching you in the face with truth rather than coddling you with a lie. And that does create enemies. It's why I have shit on Reddit and why people who have interactions with me are like, that guy was a dickhead. I said something truthful and you didn't like it. Now you don't like me, and I'm okay with that.
I love the honesty.
That's ultimately why I like conversations like this. So you'll get a lot of honesty.
I really want to know how you got started, like who you were before the muscle.
I fell in love with entrepreneurship. I've done about 50, 60 businesses. One of the companies I built was diesel sellers, and we started doing skits. And then the Discovery Channel saw us and they were like, hey, we want to do a TV show with you. We became famous.
How did we get here? Well, let's back it up a bit.
At what point did you kind of transition to being the muscle?
I don't love the name. I know it's kind of douchey. Diesel Dave and Heavy D. They ended up naming me that. I was the muscle because I got shit done. I don't mind it. It is kind of a dorky name.
You saw my Instagram video. Tell me, what did I get wrong?
Everything you said was pretty far off. You said I had 3 baby mamas. I only have 2. Burned my first marriage to the ground. I wasn't a good father. I wasn't a good husband. I ended up having an affair on my wife right when the show got really popular. So of course that didn't look really good. I was a big shitbag. I was not a good father. I was so focused on making millions of dollars that when I made it, I made $1 million by the time I was 28. I looked around and I was like, this isn't it. I don't want this. This is not what I thought it was going to be. It was kind of that shifting moment in my life where I was like, you know what's more important to me than anything is my relationships, integrity, truth. The other information, like if I remember correctly, you were talking about Jeremiah Evans. He did AlphaCon. I realized that AlphaCon was very male chauvinistic. It was a little bit douchey, but didn't really have much to do with it other than I was paid to be there.
AlphaCon, absolutely life-changing. Wanted to put this on to provide as much fucking value as I possibly can.
Greatest version of you. That's what an alpha is. That means you're top dog. Nobody put that event on except for Jeremiah. He had a good business plan that made sense. Help people buy Amazon stores and get them up and running. I was actually a victim of that. I bought 2 stores from him.
When did you find out what was happening?
All of a sudden, the information started coming out that hundreds of people had bought these stores and none of them were being serviced. That I was like, oh man, I know exactly what this is. He started to get indicted and all the shit that ultimately came out that he ended up in prison for 8 years.
I don't care what regulations come out this country. I don't care what they try to do. You can't fucking tell me what to do. I'm the fucking king. This is my fucking life.
The other thing you said is that Limitless Arena is like a spinoff. To couple AlphaCon with Limitless Arena that was one of the biggest things. I was like, well, let's have a conversation. You will not find a human being on this planet that pushes female power more than me. My events that I put on very specifically for my daughter. I wouldn't have my daughters at AlphaCon. You said I was a founder in Dirty Dough. I definitely was not a founder in Dirty Dough. I was bamboozled into investing into Dirty Dough. As I was famous, I became the face of Dirty Dough.
What's up, guys? I bought in to Dirty Dough. I'm going to be franchising this place all over the United States. Nationwide, I'm going to do franchises everywhere.
I didn't mind it if I was going to invest in it. I definitely want to clear up because that whole thing was a absolute catastrophe. The franchisees, the owners, the partners, the investors, everybody's been shit on.
Yeah, I asked him, I was like, why do you think people the blame on you versus Craveworthy, who is the company that acquired him. And his answer is interesting. He said, "Are people mad at me?" And I was like, "I've had 7 people alone DM me and say, hey, this guy lost me $700K.
I'm out a lot of money." He presented this as a very profitable thing. People bought franchises and then they got left to the dust to do it themselves, which there is a sense of accountability. If I buy McDonald's and my McDonald's sucks, I'm gonna blame the owner of McDonald's? No, it's because I don't know how to run a business. He sold a dream to franchise and to investors, and that dream was total bullshit. I would be very surprised if he doesn't know that people are upset at him.
Then it reminds me a little bit of Jeremiah, just scaling too fast. What would you say to people that consider you a fraud?
I don't care what people think, and I don't care what they say. If people think I'm a fraud, okay, I'm not here to change your mind.
I want to wrap up with rapid fire questions. What makes a good female role model?
When I think about a role model as a female, it is a very powerful, confident mother, a powerful wife. I think we have a real systemic problem with confidence in females.
What do you think contributes to the systemic lack of confidence that women have?
I'll stand in front of any room of women and say, hey, if you think the most powerful version of you is a CEO and making a ton of money and going after materialistic things, you're wrong. For some reason in society, we have split upside down this idea of, no, we don't have those roles. Women can do everything and men should do this. No. When we got married, I said, listen, the most important work that you will ever do will be within the walls of our own home. The most important work is going to be the work that you put into our marriage and into us. That's what I want you to focus on. And that's why I say a lot of people don't like me. I mean, I get hate. Feminists that are like, no, I want to provide for myself. When you fall into those roles, just like the team, I used to play football.
I've heard you're kind of a high school celebrity.
I was really good at football. I didn't love that I was the offensive lineman, but those roles have to be played correctly for the team to win, because if I didn't do my job, nothing else gets done. You can build a beautiful marriage, you can build a beautiful family, you can make a ton of money, and you can find happiness and success, or you can buy into the bullshit out in society, which is, oh, you shouldn't get married, you shouldn't have kids. I'm very against that. I'm very traditional family.
What would you say to someone that did not want kids?
You don't know unless you try. I am an individual that has more experiences in my life than 99% of people. I've had every car, I've had planes, I've had helicopters, I've had mansions, I've had success, I've had fame, and life really does seem vaporous without children. Unless you've had it, I'm not going to take anybody serious. It's like when somebody comes to me and says, well, I don't want to be rich. Rich isn't going to make me happy, and they're broke as fuck. It's like, you don't know. You've never been there. How are you going to give me an opinion on something you've never done? And again, I realize that rubs people the wrong way. I'm okay with it. It's my truth.
Do you think if people followed your coaching philosophy and these beliefs that you have, that they would be happy?
Oh, 100%. The greatest version of every human being is limitless. That's why I call it limitless. I genuinely believe we have a God who's our Father. If we are heir to Him, what's impossible for us? Nothing.
So what would you say to someone attending Limitless Conference, VIP, pays $10,000 and isn't seeing the results they want to see?
Did you go to college?
Yeah.
I didn't go to college. I'm not a big fan of college. If you take 100 people and you run them through the same course of education in college, are they all going to have the same outcome?
Nope.
Why?
Everyone practices differently. Everyone puts in different effort.
Why isn't every human in good shape? Because they don't do it. They don't have the discipline. They don't do the work.
Back to rapid fire questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your road rage?
I am not emotionally healthy behind the wheel. My road rage is usually a 9, but I think I'm down to about a 7. People in cars piss me off.
If you had to guess, if I was a Republican or a Democrat, what would you guess?
I would say liberal, because liberals mostly get information that isn't true. Liberals have no idea what they're talking about.
Your nickname is the Muscle. If you were to have to give me a nickname, what would it be?
Gossip Queen.
Who has done more for the world, Donald Trump or Kim Kardashian?
Donald Trump.
If Joseph Smith was alive today, what supercar would he drive?
Well, I don't know if he'd have a supercar. He'd have an F-450, though. I can guarantee you that.
You gotta choose a supercar, though.
Supercar for Joseph Smith? A Huracan. He'd have a Huracan.
How do you feel about AI?
I know it's the future. I know it can build massive wealth. I also think it's going to bring a lot of problems.
What do you want people to take away from this conversation?
Simple. All the fallacies that you had in that statement that aren't true, ultimately to know those aren't true, and to hear my message to the world, which is you genuinely are more capable than you realize.
So that's all I got for you. Thanks for chatting.
The more you say truth, the more people will dislike you. I appreciate your time.